She leaned close and whispered, "Go on, human, don't stop." That moment, I knew I was not safe. I was fixing her armor, but then I realized, one mistake, and the entire ship would explode. She said, "If you stop now, we both die." And then, the metal footsteps started getting closer. The alien ship floated silently in deep space. No lights. No signals. Only the cold emptiness of the void outside. Metal plates were broken, wires were hanging, and sparks flashed in the dark hallways. It looked like a ghost ship, a ship that had survived a deadly battle. Inside the ship stood a single human, Ethan Ward, a repair engineer. His space suit was cracked, his oxygen low, and his heartbeat fast. He wasn't supposed to be here alone. His crew was gone, either dead or missing. Now, he had only one mission: survive. He moved slowly, holding a small toolkit. His flashlight cut through the darkness, showing smoke, burned walls, and marks from weapons. The silence was heavy, but Ethan knew the truth: the ship wasn't empty. Something else was alive inside. As he walked deeper into the control room, he saw her. A tall alien warrior lay against the wall, breathing heavily. Her armor was damaged, glowing with blue cracks. The metal plates looked advanced, something far beyond human technology. Her eyes opened slowly, sharp and golden like a predator. Her name was Sierra, an elite warrior from a powerful alien race known as the Valkyrie. Valkyrie were feared across the galaxy, strong, fast, and deadly. Ethan froze. Sierra stared at him with a cold expression. "Human," she said with a low voice, "why are you here?" Ethan swallowed hard. His voice shook. I'm fixing the ship. If we don't repair the power core, the oxygen system will fail. We will both die." Sierra tried to stand, but pain hit her. She gasped and fell back. Ethan noticed her armor, especially the chest plate, was broken. Behind the metal, something glowed like a beating heart. A biocore. A living crystal. If it broke, it could explode with the power of a nuclear bomb. Ethan took a careful step forward. "Your armor, it needs repair. If the biocore is exposed any longer, it could overload." Sierra narrowed her eyes. "You think you can repair Valkyrie tech, human?" Ethan tried to keep his voice steady. "I can try. If I don't, you won't last long." There was a long silence. Finally, she nodded once. "Do it." Ethan knelt beside her. His hands trembled. He opened his toolkit and took out tiny tools. The sound of metal clicking echoed softly in the dark room. Sierra watched him closely, eyes sharp and unblinking. Ethan could feel her gaze like a knife on his back. "Careful," she warned. "One wrong move, and the core will detonate." "I know," Ethan whispered. Minutes passed. Sweat rolled down Ethan's neck. Each wire he moved hummed with dangerous energy. The biocore glowed brighter, pulsing like a heartbeat. Sierra leaned closer, studying his face. Her expression changed, not anger, not fear, something unreadable. Ethan swallowed again. His voice was barely a whisper. Almost done with the first layer." Then suddenly, a sound echoed through the hallway. Clang. Ethan stiffened. Shira's head snapped up. Something was moving outside the room. Something metallic. Something hunting. What was that?" Ethan whispered. Sierra didn't blink. Her voice became cold and serious. "One of the hunter machines survived the battle." Ethan's blood turned cold. "A machine?" "Yes," Sierra said. "They do not feel, do not stop, and they do not leave survivors." Ethan worked faster. His hands shook harder. Every second felt heavier. Sierra leaned closer to him, her face only inches away. Her eyes glowed faintly. "Keep going," she whispered with a low tone. Then softer, almost like a command and a test at the same time. Backhand index pointing right, "Go on, human, don't stop." Ethan felt the tension in the air. Her voice wasn't playful or gentle. It was powerful, like she was judging his worth. He took a deep breath and continued. The wires clicked into place. The armor plates tightened. Outside the room, footsteps echoed, heavy and mechanical. Clang. 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 The hunter machine was getting closer. The air turned icy. Ethan's heart pounded faster. Sweat dripped onto the armor he worked on. Shiera reached for a broken weapon beside her, preparing to fight. Ethan whispered, breathless, "Just a few more seconds." Scratch. Metal claws dragged against the wall right outside the door. Shira's eyes hardened. Ethan finally secured the last wire. The biocore stopped glowing dangerously and stabilized, but the armor still wasn't fully attached. Before he could finish, the room suddenly fell silent. Too silent. Ethan slowly turned his head toward the doorway. A shadow moved. A long, sharp silhouette. Then, two red mechanical eyes lit up in the dark. The hunter machine had found them. The room fell into a cold silence. The shadow at the doorway moved again, slow and deliberate, like a predator tasting fear. Two glowing red eyes stared into the room, emotionless, calculating, hungry. The creature stepped forward. It was tall, almost touching the ceiling, made of black metal and sharp armored plates. Its arms ended in brutal blades and claws. Tubes pumped glowing liquid through its body like veins, and its footsteps shook the metal floor. Ethan's breath stopped. A biodroid hunter. A machine made for one purpose: eliminate anything alive. The machine scanned the room with a deep mechanical voice. Target detected, Valkyrie soldier. Secondary target, human. Termination initiated. Ethan felt his knees weaken. Shiera pushed herself off the wall, pain flashing across her face. Her armor was still half open, wires exposed, but her eyes burned with anger. She stood in front of Ethan like a shield. "Human," she whispered without looking back, "do not run. Do not scream. It can smell fear." Ethan clenched his jaw and tried to steady his breath, but his heart was hammering inside his chest loud enough that he feared the machine could hear it. The hunter took another step forward, claws dragging along the wall, sparks falling to the floor. Shiera raised her broken weapon, a plasma blade with a flickering light. It wasn't fully functional, but it was all she had. The machine spoke again, voice cold. "Valkyrie warrior, surrender. You are injured. Statistics predict 0% chance of survival if you resist." Shiera smirked. "Then your statistics are wrong." She launched herself forward. The room exploded into motion. Her blade cut through the air, clashing against metal claws. Sparks burst around them as she fought. The hunter countered with brutal strength, forcing her backward. Ethan watched helplessly, searching the room for anything, a weapon, a tool, something he could use, but everything around him was broken or dead. Shira's attacks were fast, but the hunter was faster. It struck her chest, right where Ethan repaired earlier. She fell to one knee. The machine raised its claw for the final strike. Without thinking, Ethan grabbed a loose cable lying on the ground, still glowing with electrical charge, and ran forward. He shoved the cable against the exposed wiring on the droid's back. Electricity surged. The machine convulsed, metal plates vibrating, red eyes flickering. Ethan stumbled backward, gasping for breath. Shiera didn't waste the moment, she drove her blade deep into the machine's neck. The hunter stiffened, sparks shot out, then its red eyes dimmed. It collapsed onto the floor with a heavy metallic crash. Silence returned, but this time it was different. This silence felt dangerous. Because now they both knew. If one hunter survived, more might be coming. Sierra slowly stood, breathing hard. She looked at Ethan, not with cold suspicion this time, but with something new. Respect. You acted, she said quietly. Most humans freeze. But you moved. You fought. Ethan wiped sweat from his face. I didn't have a choice. There is always a choice, she replied. You could have run. But you stood with me. Ethan avoided her eyes. We aren't finished yet, are we? Sierra shook her head slowly. No. The machine sent a signal before it died. More hunters will come. We must reach the command bridge and activate hyperjump. Ethan nodded, though fear twisted inside him. Can the ship still jump? It can, she said, but I cannot do it alone. She took a step forward, then stumbled. Ethan moved to catch her. She leaned into him, her armor humming softly. Her voice dropped lower, almost softer. You repaired the core, she said. But the armor is incomplete. When the next hunters come, I may not survive. Ethan swallowed. Then we fix it. All of it. Her golden eyes locked with his. You are not afraid of me anymore. He tried to smile. You're still terrifying. For the first time, Sierra almost smiled back. Good, she said. Fear keeps you alive. She turned toward the corridor, dark, long, silent. But far away, in the darkness, they heard something. A distant metallic scream. More machines were waking. Ethan tightened his grip on his toolkit. Sierra activated what remained of her armor, blue light spreading across the plates. We move now, she whispered. And human. Ethan looked up. She leaned close again, her voice low and commanding. Stay close. If you fall behind, I cannot save you. The lights flickered. The hall ahead seemed endless. Together, human and alien, stepped forward into the darkness. And somewhere deep in the ship, the hunters began marching. The hallway stretched ahead like a long metal tunnel of shadows. Red emergency lights flickered on and off, painting the walls in a blood-like glow. Every step echoed, reminding Ethan and Sierra that they were not alone. Behind them, somewhere deep inside the ship, the hunters screamed again, louder, closer. Ethan tried to breathe slowly. His legs felt weak, but he kept walking. Sierra moved in front of him, scanning every corner. Her armor wasn't fully repaired, sparks still flickered from damaged plates, yet she walked with the confidence of a warrior who had survived 100 battles. Stay sharp, she whispered. The next attack will not be slow or careless. They adapt. Ethan nodded, clutching his toolkit like it was a weapon. They reached a heavy door marked with glowing alien symbols. The bridge is beyond this, Sierra said. But as she stepped forward, the ship suddenly shook, like something massive slammed into the hull. Ethan staggered. What was that? Sierra narrowed her eyes. Reinforcement drop. They sent a larger unit. Before Ethan could respond, the door lights turned red, and a mechanical voice began speaking in the Valkyrie language. Sierra muttered, system locked. They're taking control. She opened a small panel on the wall and began rewiring. Ethan watched the hallway nervously. Silence. Then. Thud. He flinched. Another thud. Louder. Something heavy was walking toward them. Ethan whispered shakily, Sierra. Hurry. I am, she replied calmly, but even she sounded tense. Ethan saw movement. Coming out of the darkness was not one, but 3 hunter machines. Bigger and more armored than the first. Their eyes glowed brighter. Their movements were fast and precise. One of them raised a weapon, a plasma launcher. Ethan shouted, "Sierra!" Before she could turn, he used his toolkit to grab a small explosive charge, not meant for combat but for emergency repairs. He didn't think, he just threw it. The device hit the ground and exploded into bright white sparks. The blast wasn't strong but enough to blind the machines for a few seconds. "That was brave," Sierra said. "And very stupid." "Thanks," Ethan yelled, backing up. The machines recovered, and then ran. Fast. Sierra jumped in front of Ethan again. "Run," she commanded. "But the door." "Run." They sprinted into another corridor. Alarms screamed. The lights flickered faster. The ship felt alive with danger. A hunter leaped, claws ready to strike Ethan. Sierra turned and blocked the attack with her damaged shield. Metal clashed so hard the hallway shook. She yelled, "Human, the repair bay. To your right." Ethan saw it, a large room filled with alien tools, armor racks, and glowing technology. He ran inside, gasping for air. Sierra slid in behind him and slammed the door panel, sealing it. The hunters pounded on the other side, metal against metal. The door bent. Not safe for long. Ethan looked at Sierra. Her armor was sparking badly now, almost shutting down. "We can't outrun them," he said quietly. "We need to finish the armor." Sierra stared at him for a long moment, and finally nodded. "Then do it." Ethan rushed to a workstation and grabbed alien tools he didn't recognize, but somehow understood. The Valkyrie tech responded to touch, humming like it was alive. Sierra sat on a repair chair. Her breathing was heavy. Ethan worked fast, plugging in glowing plates, sealing wires, reconnecting energy lines. The armor pulsed with power. Outside, boom. The door bent inward. The hunters were breaking through. Sweat rolled down Ethan's face. His fingers moved faster. Suddenly, Sierra placed her hand on his wrist. Her voice was low. "Human." He looked up. Her golden eyes locked with his, not cold, not commanding, but grateful. "You saved my life twice," she said softly. "If I fall today, I fall with honor." Ethan's voice cracked. "You're not falling." Boom. The door split open. The hunters stormed inside. Ethan sealed the final piece of armor, a glowing chest plate covering the biocore. The armor flashed. Then everything went silent. Sierra slowly stood. Her armor transformed, plates shifting, energy systems activating, glowing bright blue like a star. She looked taller. Stronger. Unstoppable. Ethan stepped back. Sierra's voice changed, deeper, powerful, almost royal. "Hunter units, target acquired." The machines charged. Sierra moved like lightning, faster than Ethan could follow. Her blade sliced through metal bodies. Sparks exploded through the air. The room shook with every strike. One hunter tried to grab Ethan. Sierra threw a broken machine part and crushed it instantly. Within seconds, silence returned. The hunters lay destroyed around them, metal scraps and glowing wires on the floor. Sierra turned toward Ethan. For the first time, she bowed. A warrior bow. "You are no ordinary human," she said. "You are now under Valkyrie protection." Ethan gave a tired smile. "And, now can we escape?" Sierra nodded. "Yes." Together. They walked toward the bridge, side by side. Not enemies. Not strangers. But partners. As the ship prepared for hyperjump, Ethan looked out into space and whispered. "Whatever comes next. I'm ready." And somewhere far beyond the stars, something ancient heard him. A new story was beginning. Thank you for watching. If you want another story like this, hit the like button and comment next. And if you are new here, subscribe, because this journey has just begun.